Hello everyone and welcome to a visual novel called Merely a Regret. That's what they said about me when I was born. Let's go ahead and start a new game. This is a kinetic visual novel. I'm standing on a rock overlooking a familiar army. The day is clear and as beautiful as any other. This was made for the 2019 Yuri Game Jam. A deep pit forms in my stomach when I realize I am dreaming. I look down towards the crowd and the people who pledge their cause to me. They look at me and see a savior. I should have listened to the advisors who said that the plan was too risky. But they never listened when I needed them. I wanted my revenge. A single word from me quieted them. No one ever seriously challenged Sigur the Divine. The woman whose birth the god attended. The woman marked and blessed by a god. I lift Fafnir, the holy sword, to catch the sun's gleam. I declare victory or death. And then I watch myself wade into battle. I see her Fafnir shimmering as she raises her marked hand to the sky. The divine lightning pours out of her to smite her foes. The woman I am watching is unstoppable, whose battalions of monsters tremble before her. That they only tremble shows how much they underestimate her. She is a princess, a hero, a savior. To her followers she may as well be a god. Then it arrives upon a black steed, raising her sword. As it pulses with the divine lightning, she charges at it. They clash, the bystanders who gather to watch keep their distance. Time after time, the savior and it meet, unable to find an advantage over the other. Then she makes a mistake. She calls upon the divine lightning to finish off it. She drops her guard just for a brief second. In that brief second, it brings the hammer into her side. I force myself to look away as her body is lifted into the air. When I open my eyes again, it's through her perspective. The first thing I notice is that I can't see out of my right eye. If I could have seen out of it, I'd known that Fafnir was split in two by the blow, but I can't see out of it, so I try to stand up and find Fafnir. I try to use my arms, but they give out as soon as I put weight on them. I fall back to the ground. That is when I notice the divine lightning is now just a spark where there was once a storm. It only sinks in then that I failed in my quest to rid the land of evil. A sickening feeling washes over me as I'm dragged off the battlefield to safety. I was a hero once. Now I am nothing. I wake to knocking on the door and wonder why Thistle hasn't gotten it yet. They are normally quite attentive to such things. Still covered in a cold sweat from my dream, I stand up and get dressed. Thistle, are you here? You have a patron at the door. Thistle's lack of response tells me that they are already running errands, which makes me wonder how late I slept in today. The knocking continues and I realize that I have to service this person in their stead, which is a terrible idea, really. I walk past Thistle's carefully arranged stack of books, potions, and magical ingredients to take a peek out the front door. Outside is a young child, about 14 years of age, brown hair, full face of freckles. I think he is one of the farmer's kids out west. Hello, is Thistle home? Mom told me that Warlock would have what she needs for the horses. No, they are not. I also believe they call themselves a witch now. I think I note to ask them when they got home what their occupational title is now. I might be of assistance if you need something from the potion stock. I don't know what it's called, but I suppose to give the horses a full night of healthy rest. Mom says it's better for them than a healing potion. A potion of equine rest. I will fetch it. Thank you, ma'am. I stroll over to Thistle's potion collection and look for the animals section, and within the section, the horse section. And When I first moved in, I was surprised by how many potions exist for mundane tasks and manual labor. Thistle always tells me they must be well stocked for anyone's needs, as they are the only magic user in town. Truthfully, I think they work themselves too hard. It is one of the reasons I dedicated part of these past 5 months to memorizing their stock. Where is it? Wait, I have it. I grab it and return to the boy. He gives me a wide-eyed look when I hand him the potion. Here, your mother will know what to do with it. Thank you, ma'am. Satisfied, I turn to leave. What is your name, ma'am? And I get drawn back into the conversation I don't want. Sigurn. Like the hero Sigurn the Divine? The hero, Sigurn the Divine. At least Thistle has kept it secret from the whole village. Yeah, disappointed to share the name. Why? I just am. The stories about her are incredible, though. They say she can shoot lightning and wields the holy blade that can cleave anyone in two. Wouldn't you love to shoot lightning? With it, I'd fry old man Alfred or roast a rooster. Boy. Who wouldn't want that? I bet she's out here right now Cease! He stops suddenly and gives me a nervous-eyed look. Fantastic introduction, hero. Your mother sent you here. It was urgent. Surely you should stop and go back to her, now that you have your potion. The boy nods slowly and begins to leave. Before he gets too far, I call out to him. I apologize for my tone. When he's out of sight, I close the door. My heart is pounding against my chest and my hands are trembling. I cannot believe such a simple conversation has done this to me. I update Thistle's stock and organize what they couldn't manage the night before, hoping to calm my nerves. But it does not help at all. The only thing I can do is go back to bed and lie down until my body forgets my mind's failure. Until I forget. There's a lot weighing on you. You were once a hero, and now you feel you have fallen. Your expectations of yourself are very high, and now you have to come down and live in some normality. It must be overwhelming for you. I do not have to work on the farm today, so I can just stay here until I am well. I take deep breaths and listen to the silence, while my heart slows back to its usual crawl. Eventually, there's another knock at the door, one that is more familiar and welcoming. Siggy, I'm back! The door opens and Thistle enters wearing the usual work clothes. I have one quick question. Did you maybe kind of yell at Albine today? You know, teen boy, brown hair, freckles all over his face. As opposed to... Siggy. I may have panicked and in anger snapped at him. Oh dear, I should have warned you about him. A bit of an admirer of you, even if he doesn't know it yet. Sorry, Siggy. They say it with a simple smile, like it was their fault for not warning the kid his hero is a disappointment. No need. I should have held my temper. But could I maybe ask what he said to upset you so much? I think back to our brief conversation. He talked about the stories he heard of me, the divine lightning. Oh. Except he has no idea how I did myself in by attempting to use that force at full power. Imagine the look on his face if he were to find out. And it's so uncomfortable I can feel it pulsing through me. A constant reminder that I'm supposed to be a God-chosen hero. I wish he asked about Afinir. That, at least, I left behind. On the other hand, if you hadn't, he wouldn't have met you, and neither would I. True. I apologize if I seem ungrateful. You never know what you did for me back then. The memory seems to put a smile on their face. All I did was take you from the mud and grime, and give you a nice meal and fresh clothes. I left before you woke up, and when I got back I found you stuffing your face with meat you picked out of the stew. With your bare hands, no less. Stew eaten with your hands is a delicacy to nobles of the old kingdom. You doubt me still. Yep. Then I just have to teach you the fine-fingered stew techniques. You keep saying that, Siggy, but you never do. Someday this poor warlock might start to think that your friend is lying. Liar. Liar pants on fire. Anyway, you don't have to worry about owing me anything. You've paid it back with what you did after. I'm glad that first meeting is now just an amusing memory that the two of us share. Thinking of that makes me think lightning roasted chicken isn't half bad idea. As if on command, my stomach makes a loud growl. A loud enough growl for both of us to hear. Someone's hungry. With such a talk of stew, can you blame me? Not at all. I am famished too. Luckily, I got some veggies for the hunter's pot from the village today. If you could throw them in, Siggy, I'll be right out once I put my stuff away. Will do, Thistle. Thistle steps into their room while I take the vegetables and begin cooking them in the hunter's pot. It's right as they return that I remember my question for them. Remind me, do you call yourself a witch or warlock? They pause for a moment to think. Both, I think. Both? I did call myself a warlock just now, huh? But at the smithy I used witch. I guess I kind of used both as the mood strikes. The difference between a witch and a warlock is the self-identification anyhow, you know? It's not like alchemists and warlocks where there is an actual difference in how they practice magic. If you say so, Thistle, I say use whatever fits. Will do, Siggy. I pull out a bowl and spoons for us to eat the stew with. It doesn't take me long to finish mine, while Thistle is still working on theirs. The meeting with the boy today could have been worse. He could have said that I was a failure and should be ashamed. Siggy, it's true. Why deny it? Sure, you didn't succeed, but I don't think you are a worthless woman. You think you are. You are quite a helpful assistant, and you tell wonderful stories, and you cook pretty well too. Not to mention you're kind and compassionate enough to tolerate my jests. My reward for being considerate is being called Siggy. Yes, indeed, Siggy, if you insist. I honestly still can't believe they call me Siggy, or that I let them call me that. I can't imagine accepting this a year ago. But being treated like this now is normal, which is something I never quite had, so it's a nice normal feeling. If it makes them happy, I'll let them. I think it makes me happy as well. Enough about my problems. I hear you mentioned yesterday news from your family. I did. My little brother, the one I told you about, who got into pottery? Yes. He has a kid now. Don't know what that makes me, but I'm happy for him. I should go and visit them, and I do wonder when when it was that I last saw them. Thistle scrunches up their face and begins absent-mindedly fiddling with their spoon. It's honestly quite endearing. Gosh, I think it was when I changed my name to Thistle. Thistle? I know, I should see them, but I've just been so busy helping the village since my last teacher died. I mean, it's not like they never heard from me. I would like to see them again, though. Busy isn't the least of it. Thistle practically works day and night. Even when they aren't busy helping the village, they are here helping me. I wish there was more I could do to help them out. I have taken to helping them organize their stock and helping them clean up, but I still feel like a dead weight at the end. Are you finished? Take the evening off. I can continue with my storytelling. You were liking the dragons of the sea, correct? Siggy, I'd love to, but I got something in mind for tonight. They finished their last of their stew and they put their spoon down. Remember what we talked about last night? No, remind me. You talked about wanting to do something to escape from your worries, something practical. I thought about that a lot today, and I think I have an idea. It might be bad, or maybe possibly a terrible idea, so I figured we should discuss it first. Uh-oh. Your god, Edda, you haven't spoken to them since you were, They paused because they realized I have paused. Spoon halfway to my mouth, I simply look at them. Since you were, I turn my spoon towards them like I might stuff some stew into their gaping mouth. Since you were injured? No, I have not. Then let's do it, Siggy. Do what? Contact your god! I drop my spoon. You won't need to expose yourself to danger or anything, and you have to talk to them at some point, right? Why not cross that bridge now? I don't know what to say to this. I don't know what they expect me to say to this. My finger traces a line in the table's wood. It takes a while for me to gather my thoughts. Eventually, I look back up to Thistle and find an expression on their face that stabs me with guilt. I'm guessing, that'd be a no, huh? Right, I'm sorry. Forget I even suggested something so dumb. I'll get us both a drink. Let's do it. What's that now? Edda is just a god. They can't hurt me or any other human. Gods may possess the power of elements, but only humans can wield it. I rub the back of my right hand underneath my gloves, and I can still feel the distinctive outline of the mark. If I concentrate, I can feel what remains of the divine lightning emanating from it. Merely a spark. That's why gods delight to mark humans, so we might wield their power. So I could wield the lightning. Siggy. Edda cannot harm me, but they chose me specifically, and I let them down. Do you think they're angry with you? I have known Edda all my life, but I cannot recall if I have seen them angry. Truthfully, I expect them to be, but like you said, no danger. Neither friend nor foe, Edda included, has given me thought, not after my failure. So perhaps the onus is on me to reach out to them. Thistle stands up so quickly their pace editing clatters. Right then. First we need to figure out what materials we need, and we'll communicate with Edda. Thistle, what kind of rituals does Edda use to communicate? Are there any temples nearby? Edda uses temples and has order, right? Thistle, I do not need. It's not like our local god of Voluspa, where it is super decentralized. So you mentioned priest who attended your Thistle. What is it? Find something made of silver or copper, some edible berries, particularly cloudberries, Edda's favorite. I definitely got copper wire. Does silver dust work too? berries? Berries, of course I have berries. A witch has to be prepared for anything. Tonight, then. We will talk to Edda tonight. You haven't said where just yet. Don't we need a holy ground to talk to a god? Most humans do. I do not. Edda and I talk regularly once upon a time. Being injured dealt some damage to my connection with Edda. Is the idea of talking to them again scary? As you said, it's our best option. Also, I do not want to return to the temple of Edda forever. Ever. I am a demigod to Edda's priests. They would literally worship me. And we both know that's the last thing I want. Sorry, I should have thought about that. You are fine. Last thing I expect from you is knowledge of Eden's personal habits. I definitely wouldn't have guessed they wore those. Who do you think they are? Nuns? The smile I find myself wearing feels dusty, like I retrieved it from a high, forgotten shelf where it rested among cobwebs. Thistle begins to clear the table. When I stand up to help, they shoo me away. I got the dishes and the materials. Leave it to me. You just take some time and prepare yourself, okay? But it takes longer for me to stop pacing around nervously than it takes for Thistle to get the ingredients. When I'm ready, I take the berries Thistle bought and lay them in the circle. The silver dust gets sprinkled inside, and the copper wire goes in the center. As long as it's been since I prepared for such a ritual, I still know the setup is less than ideal. Of course, my area of expertise is falling just short of the ideal. Beside me, I can hear Thistle shuffle just a little bit as I step into view. They eye the ritual circle for a moment before looking back at me. So, if you don't mind me asking, what is Ed like? Grateful to have something else other than the ritual to focus on, I take a moment to ponder what best response is. The answer to their question is simple. Expressing that answer is difficult. Inhuman, a storm hot, both gentle and terrible, as compassionate as they are ferocious. The divine lightning was, or rather I was, their ferocity. When they saw what they saw in the nobody such as myself, I do not know. Never questioned it, and they never said much. Wait. Did you just say that Edda barely speaks? Correct. What is so humorous about it? 'Cause I really wasn't expecting a shy thunder god, Siggy. This is too good. Edda is reserved, yet forceful when need be. They listen more than they speak. Perfect for lonely days. You? Lonely? Yeah, right. You must have been swarmed with devoted followers. Let us focus on the task at hand. Regrettably, the less than ideal circle is hardly a reprieve from my past. Which makes me wonder, can I reach Edda? Do I have the strength to face their anger? Thistle lays a gentle hand on my arm and jolts me out of my thoughts. Siggy, if you're scared, we can do this another time. You don't have to. Do you have a blindfold? I don't think so. The ordinary way it is, then, I suppose. I take a step forward and kneel so that I am in arm's reach of the small ritual circle that we made, and Thistle takes a step back. Taking a deep breath, I close my eyes and press the palm of my hand to the copper wire. Then I call upon the divine lightning and release a single pulse from my heart to Edda's. The world melts away, and I am left in the void. Sigurn is about to have a panic attack and have suicidal ideation. We will continue. I can't see anything. I can't hear anything. I can't feel anything. I am far away from the world of Thistle and their village, but not from my troubles. I sense something. It might be Edda, or it could be something else entirely. This isn't right. Normally I would have reached Edda by now. I feel my gut squirm, and a shiver runs up my spine. I need to move, but I'm unable to touch the ground. I try to grab a hold of something, but there is nothing. I try to make a sound, but nothing comes out. My heart starts pounding uncontrollably. My chest tightens, and I suddenly can't breathe. I am stuck here, and I can't get out. I need to get out. I don't want to be trapped here forever. Please, someone let me out. Just someone. I don't deserve this. Help! 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 Whoa. Easy, Siggy. Easy. Are you okay? You're okay. You're okay. I snap back into focus. Thistle's hands are on my shoulders, and I can tell that I'm soaking in a cold sweat. My heart pounds against my chest with no sign of slowing down. Thistle removes her hand from my shoulder and begins to speak. Take calming breaths and center yourself, then repeat the phrase we came up with. I'm Siggern. My favorite kind of dog is a sheepdog, and my favorite game is chess. I am safe and no one can hurt me. I follow their instructions, taking some deep breaths. I am Siggern. My favorite kind of dog is a sheepdog, and my favorite game is chess. I am safe and no one can hurt me. I repeat the phrase over and over until I'm well. Or at least, as well as I can be. I motion to Thistle I've recovered. They give me a quick nod and offer a hand to lift me up. When I am on my feet again, I see that it's dark out. I don't know how long I was gone, nor how long it took me to calm down, but it's much later than I anticipated. I turn back to Thistle and find them staring down at the ritual circle I made. Siggy, you didn't eat any of the berries, did you? No. Why, did you? No, but well... They motioned to a newly half circle of berries on the floor. It's like some of them simply vanished. Good, we made contact. At least till I panicked and ruined it. Stupid, stupid, stupid girl. I can't even get a simple ritual right. So, that was Edda, right? Edda who took the berries? Without a doubt. But what do they do? What do they do with them? I do not know. Eat them, perhaps? Edda eats berries? Really? I never thought to ask. They only accept edible berries. However, it seems the logical conclusion. Why would an immortal eat berries, though? Can gods even eat? They must enjoy them. Either way, we can contact Edda now, so tonight was not a complete waste. Thistle can barely hold in her laughter. I'm sorry, Siggy. I just didn't expect your god of righteous wonder and fury to be a picky eater. How dare you? The world cannot know the divine Edda has poor table manners. I must now strike you down for besmirching my god's holy name. Oh no, Siggy, please don't hurt me. I promise I won't tell everyone your god has an insatiable sweet tooth. No, too late for you. Prepare to die. We both fall into a laughing fit over Edda's eating habit. If they are watching now, I hope they do not mind my jest at them. Now, let me get you some small ale for what ails you. No need, I am fine. Siggy, I insist. It'll at least make me feel better for putting you through this mess. Plus, some ale before bed will do the nerves wonders. Can't deny I would like that. I bid them to fetch the drink and sit back down at the table. They return with 2 leather mugs containing plentiful amounts of small ale. I do notice mine has more ale than theirs. Most likely their way of trying to make things up to me after that disastrous attempt. I take a good swig of the ale before speaking. Do not blame yourself for that. It's a good idea. Need to do it someday. Why not now? Thank you for the reassurance, Siggy. They take a long, slow drink of their ale before continuing. Oh, Siggy, next time I get ale for the 2 of us, I should make a potion and it will make it sparkle. or turn green, or something fun. Needs to be a good ale, not this cheap stuff. Small ale isn't that bad. Don't tell me you actually like it. Better than the wines I used to have. Really? Just the wines. I've partaken in some very fine ales and meads. The wines were all too bitter. This, for emphasis, I take a hearty swig. I have to wipe the thick foam mustache off my lip before I can finish the thought. It's just right. My first teacher would go absolutely mad if they knew you liked small ale better than wine. What a no-good rascal, they'd say. Thistle quotes the teacher using a stern expression in such a low, gruff voice that I accidentally snort a bit and have drink up my nose. Well, you will have to tell them your new friend disagrees. No, I like them. They showed me how to do magic and helped me come to terms with my identity. Fine, but someday I might fight them over that. Though, I do like the idea of adding a magical effect for the two of us. But first, I need to make sure that I can actually get the good stuff for us to drink. I still say it would be a waste on this cheap stuff. You say that, but you finished your ale pretty quickly. Hush, you! I'll have none of your lip tonight. If you say so. They stand up with their empty mug and take a nice long stretch. Right, I need to turn in early. I got a lot of work in the morning. None of it is easy. The town's head needs some advice on whether a trader's potions are actually worth the price. Sorry about the plan again, Siggy. I hope you're feeling better now. Do not apologize. I agreed to it. Besides, I stand up as well. Need to think about how to say this. Personal matters were never my forte. Perhaps I don't need to tell them everything. The last 5 months have been really good. I like spending time with you. It is nice doing this. Your support has been invaluable, and I like living with you. So, thank you. Pleased that I could have managed this much. I take a deep breath to calm myself. What's all this about? Oh, nothing. Just the thanks. For being a good, living partner. You know? I wouldn't want a dead partner, 'cause they can't breathe and stuff, and that'd be kind of weird. So thanks for living. Thank you. Alright then. I'm glad I'm a good living partner. Good night and sweet dreams. Night. Between Thistle preparing a special drink for the two of us and calling themselves my living partner as well, I wonder if they feel the same way about me. The same way I do them. No. I'm overthinking it. A foolish girl letting her foolish thoughts into her head. After the first attempt of trying to contact Edo, we try again and again and again. Each night is always the same result. Partially completed ritual, no Edo. At first it looked like we were making progress. I would be able to maintain the ritual longer. More berries would be consumed, and then I would be in a better shape after the fact. Then some nights it slips all away. I can't hold the ritual for even a second, and I am utterly exhausted after the attempt. Each time I fail, Edo slips further and further away. More importantly, any hope of getting closure and moving on slips away. The worst thing is that this once was so trifling. I would perform it regularly at night, away from prying eyes, conversing with Eda till dawn. Now here I am a decade later, and I find myself incapable of a task a little girl could do. I find myself asking, why am I doing this? The only answer I know is that I deserve to face their judgment. They are owed an explanation for my mistakes, and I can only pray that they can forgive me. So I push myself to the brink of exhaustion, while Thistle nervously watches on it. They appear to regret suggesting the idea, but say nothing. They want to do something, but feel they can't. Maybe Thistle is afraid of stopping me. that I would turn on them in anger. Sometimes I wish they would. Mostly I wish they were more supportive of my trying to reach Edda. They sometimes give me a hug afterwards, but it is always half-hearted, as if they worry about being struck by lightning. A valid concern. I have shocked others with the divine lightning accidentally. But I wish we were closer. I wish they would hold me tighter. It is dark. By the time I return to Thistle's place from working on the farm, I open the front door and call out, but my greeting falls silent. Thistle must be preoccupied with some task. To whittle away the time until they return, I return any tools Thistle left out from working last night back to where they belong. Thistle's taking into leaving specific instruments on where everything goes if they don't have the time to tidy up. Which is quite often. I suspect Thistle distracts himself with more work as they clean up. As I'm adding in my share of our hunter's pot, I hear a knock at the door. A moment, please. I carefully put away the ladle covered up the pot and made my way to the door. In comes Thistle, quick as ever. They're out of breath and also sporting the biggest grin I've ever seen on them. Siggy, guess what I got? I cannot. Aw, come on, Siggy, take a guess. New magical ingredients. Hey, I have a life outside of magic, you know. I got some mead. Remember I mentioned sharing a good drink? Just the two of us? Yes. Well, now we can in. Ta-da! They motioned to just behind them, where two small barrels lie on the ground. There are grass stains on the barrel's sides, as if they were rolled some distance recently, but otherwise seem quite nice. If I knew they were that serious about getting something good to drink, I would have helped. Thistle, how much did this cost, and how did you get it here? Oh, don't worry about that, Siggy. This is my treat. Couldn't get any potions for it, though. Another time, maybe. As for how I got them here, I received a little help from some townspeople. They might have left a bit ago, though. So could you please help me bring them in? I shall. Thank you, Siggy. I take one of the barrels, and Thistle grabs the other with a grunt. It takes no time for me to place my barrel down by the table, and when I turn back, I see Thistle still struggling with their barrel. Given that Thistle has opted to roll the barrel, I step in and pick it up. They look absolutely mortified by their inability to help. As I set the second barrel down, I catch a glimpse of Thistle disappearing into the bedroom. As I return to the table, they bring out a pair of ceramic tankard etched with ivy pattern. The tankards are nicer than anything they've owned and appear to have seen little use over the years. I inherited these from my last teacher when she died. I have not had a good reason to use them in a long time. They are lovely, Thistle. You don't need to be polite. I know the castle you grew up in had all the finest goblets and cups that make these look like regular leather jacks. No, honestly, I like their design. I'd trade most of the goblets I had growing up for these. They're far more gaudy, and we had far too many. Too many? Another benefit of having a marked daughter. Followers of Edda, even our country's king, went out of their way to curry a favor with my family. Sorry, Siggy, but I have to disagree. Having too many gifts doesn't seem so bad from where I'm standing. My family never had much to begin with. I certainly take free gifts. They were never free. This is simple. To the point, there are no hidden motives or requests with these tankards. They exist for special occasions. You should treasure them more, if not for them, for your late teacher. Aw, Siggy, enough smooth talk. Drink up. As if I can smooth talk to save my life. I take a sniff of the mead and take in a good swig of it. The mead is quite a bit tastier than the small ale that we normally drink. A distinct taste of honey lingers on my tongue after each sip. This is good. Where did you purchase this? Oh, there's a lot of traders that visit here this time of year. I'm not surprised you don't know, with how new you are to the place. If you feel up to it, I could show you the market before they leave. Well, some of them at least. Why is that? Oh, some come from the north and the old kingdom. They hold strong feelings about me, am I correct? Unfortunately, there were quite a bit of nasty words I overheard about you. I don't want to expose you to that. Frankly, you don't deserve that. Thank you, Thistle. You are kind, but enough of that nonsense. We're not here to deal with some blowhard merchants who think they know better or hard to reach gods. We are here to have fun. Thistle downs the rest of their mead in a single gulp. I note that I have learned a new talent of Thistle's today. As for myself, I have learned the dangers of getting too drunk from a previous relationship. Best to keep it light for now. Hey, Siggy. You know what we need? No? Music! We need to get a traveler's troubadour group to come here and play us some music for the local warlock Thistle and their hard-working friend Siggy. I would hardly describe myself as. No, better. We should become troubadours ourselves and make music and merriment everywhere we go. We should? I would have to learn to play a harp, but Siggy, you know all the best stories. I bet lots of folks would come to hear your tales from the world over. The only stories I know are of heroes. People who, regardless of blood, were my ancestors. Underlying every fantastic word of their exploits was the expectation that I enjoyed them. I loved those stories as a child, but to think back on them now. Not all of the stories you know are great heroes and heroic legends, though, right? What was that one you recently told me, Dragons of the Sea? I thought that was engaging in its own right. A lovely little fairy tale spun by Siggy. You thought so? Yep, I loved it at the end when the youngest dragon reunites with her older two siblings. Surely, you know more fairy tales like that, Siggy. Perhaps I do. We continue on like this for some time until we turn to Thistle's lacking strength. I suggested to them that they should work on the farm with me. Pass. If there was anything I learned as a kid, it was that farm work is not fun. Doing magic, reading about magic, now that is the life. Noticing that my tankard is empty, I motion to Thistle, who gives me a nod. I slide it over to Thistle, who pours me more mead from the barrel. Thistle comes over to me, tankard in hand. I take it from them. Maybe I should teach you some magic, Siggy. Make you my apprentice. You already live with me. I have no attunement to magic. I can work the divine, but actual magic? No. That's a little... I mean, you can shoot lightning, but not make a potion or a simple charm? Correct. We both share a laugh at the silliness of it. Just how drunk am I? Thistle is rather close right now. Why haven't they moved away? But really, magic attunement is something that can't be explained. I still do have a lot of exercises my first teacher taught me, so I can teach you the basics. Their exercises are quite... Thistle, may I kiss you? Thistle continues talking a moment after I finish my sentence, almost like it never happened. Then their eyes go wide sluggishly, and what they were saying peters off into a mumble. The room falls silent, and I wait. Oh, and wait until they can finally answer me. This is the end of the demo. The full game will be coming soon! Oh! No, do they kiss or not? I need to know. Wait, is there a full game out? Not sure, I didn't really see a full game, but this is merely a regret. So I hope you guys enjoyed the visual novel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and goodbye. Peace out, goodbye.